you doing, Scott?
Good. You?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are calling this meeting to order at 3:30, and we are skipping roll call, the pledge, and the agenda approval. This is a special meeting of Cultural and Fine Arts, so we don't have to do those things. So today we have items for discussion. Our first item is an acknowledgement of Mario Alioto's last meeting. Sadly, I need to read something that was prepared. Today it is my honor to sit before you to recognize the exemplary service of our outgoing youth commissioner, Mario Alioto. Over the past year, Mario has been an invaluable member of the Cultural and Fine Arts Commission, contributing his passion, dedication, and fresh perspectives to our endeavor. Mario's commitment to the betterment of our community has been evident in every meeting, event, and initiative he's been part of. His thoughtful insights have made a significant impact on the work of the Commission, and his presence will be greatly missed. As Mario steps down from his role as Youth Commissioner, we extend our heartfelt gratitude for his outstanding service and commend him for his leadership and his contributions. Mario's dedication to serving the youth of our community has been inspiring. We are immensely grateful for the time and energy he has invested in this important role. It is with both pride and a tinge of sadness that we bid Mario farewell as he embarks on the next chapter of his journey. As he graduates from Sonoma Valley High and prepares to pursue higher education in the Hall, we eagerly await his announcement regarding his college destination. In recognition of his exceptional service, we have prepared a certificate to honor Mario's achievements and express our gratitude for his contributions to our community. We hope this small token of appreciation serves as a reminder of the impact he has made and the legacy he leaves behind. Please join me in congratulating Mario Alioto on his achievements and wishing him all the best in his future endeavors. Mario, your dedication and commitment have made a difference, and we have no doubt that you will continue to excel in all your future endeavors. Commissioners, please come down to the floor for a group photo.
Thank you. Really appreciate that. Thank you.
You all want to go kind of in this little zone here, and then we can have Connie and Mario kind of in the middle, holding the certificate. You know. All right. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to do a couple. Perfect. Thank you, guys.
Luckily, we have the right person on the city website to post it.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
We appreciate
And at this time, if other commissioners would like to make comments, and including our outgoing youth commissioner, if he would like to relay any information to us, you're welcome to do that now.
Wow. I didn't think this time would come very fast. I mean, it's been a year. I appreciate all the opportunities I was offered because of you guys and helping just out in all the most of the ad hoc committees and the treasure artists as well. I really do appreciate it. Trust me. Like, it's been a surreal experience, you know, getting to know all of you, especially what you do within the arts itself. It's just truly amazing. So I thank you guys so much for this opportunity. I there's no words I could say. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
I just want to thank you because I know you're such a busy high school student. There's so much going on, and yet you have given your time and effort and really made a difference and an impact on our committee or commission. And I do hope you will stay in touch with us and let us know where you are this summer, because I think we'd like to see you again before you head off. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
I want to thank you as well. I'm a little bummed we didn't get to do an ad hoc committee together, but I appreciate all your work, and it's really inspiring for other youth as well watching you. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're very inspiring to me. It's like I have major imposter syndrome on this commission, and you just come in here and you're so forward. You just share your ideas. I really respect it and admire that about you. And I know it's like you're going to be so successful wherever you go because of all the qualities I've seen while you've been on the commission.
Thank you.
And I'd personally just like to thank you because I believe that students can be just as powerful in groups and are really important to have in these types of groups. We can't neglect the voice of people that are the future. And you did a magnificent job of helping that goal.
Yeah, Mario, I'd just like to say thank you for your positive contribution. You've got a very, I would say, positive disposition, and your contribution's been appreciated. Yeah, sad to see you go.
It is very sad.
And
Any
perhaps you
announce-
would like to let us know. Sorry, I think Connie, if you want to do that. I think everybody is chomping at the bit to know what decision you may have made on which college is lucky enough to have you next year.
I am going to touch on that in just a little bit. You guys will find out. I'm keeping it a mystery.
Do we need public comment on this? Yes. So anyone in the public? Not here. Okay. There's no motion needed. Thank you, commissioners, for your comments. Thank you, Mario. We are moving to 1.2 on the agenda report, student artist interviews. I turn this over to the staff.
So first, I believe Mario Alioto is going to announce his recusal.
Yes, I do recuse from this committee. Thank you guys so much.
Set change. Okay. So thank you all. Here we are at our second installment of Student Creative Artist Award interviews. I'm going to just briefly touch on, like I did in the first round for the sake of a public meeting. I will be kind of reading through the background and then some of the reminders and other supplementary information I covered in our last meeting. So the Student Creative Artist Award was first created in 1988 as the honorarium. In 1994-95, the name was changed to the Steve Silver High School Honorarium, and then in 2002, it was named the Student Creative Artist Award. Currently, there is one award of $2,000. Additional awards can be made if there is a surplus in the commission budget after the treasure artist reception. This year, the treasure artist reception was free of charge, and all of the funds were used to put on that event, so there are no additional funds this year. Since the program began in 1988, the Culture and Fine Arts Commission has awarded over $50,000 to 79 student artists. Awards have been given to students working in a variety of artistic mediums over the years, including visual arts, animation, film production, music, cinematography, photography, dance, design, performance, theater arts, and creative writing. That's quite a lot of artwork there. This award program is open to high school juniors and seniors who reside within the boundary of the Sonoma Valley Unified School District and have a strong interest in visual, literary, or performing arts. Applicants submit an application online, including a 200 to 500 word statement explaining the role that art has played in their lives and what their plans are for continuing their artistic training, in addition to examples of their work depending on their discipline. Applicants are required to participate in an in-person interview with the commission. City staff released the press release on February 9th, 2024, with an entry deadline of April 5th. A total of 9 qualified applications were received. There were 4 interviews conducted at the April 16th, 2024 regular meeting. The remaining 5 interviews will be conducted today at this special meeting. Let's see. So we have these interviews all lined up. Let me go on to the fact that we will be interviewing 4 students in person today and watching a recorded self-interview of 1 student today, which was granted last minute based on special request. Submissions were available to the commission and to the public on a Google Drive folder. The link to that folder was provided in the staff report in the posted agenda, which posted on Monday, and subsequently all of these were also included in the agenda that we posted for the April 16th meeting. All the artists were provided information on what to expect for this interview process. It included the time and location of the interview, layout of the room, the fact that the interview will be recorded, and other instructions, as well as the 5 predetermined questions in advance. You have a printout of each applicant's information, an artist statement, along with printouts of their artwork. If they submitted videos, screenshots of their performance or videos are included there as well. Each artist is granted 1 interview, even if they submitted more than 1 entry or artwork across multiple disciplines. So we are looking at an artist in their totality rather than an artist in a specific discipline. How we will proceed: the commission will ask interviewees the same 5 questions. You have those available to you in your packet. It's at the commission's discretion on how those questions are delegated. I believe last time the chair facilitated a delegation of those questions. Any commissioner may ask a follow-up question to any of those initial 5 questions, but no new or alternate questions can be asked. So for fairness of the every interviewer, an viewee, excuse me. A reminder to please hold your comments about the artist or their work with your fellow commissioner until deliberations at the end of all of the interviews. In the case that there is a gap between interviews or an interview ends early, our applicants have been asked to arrive between 5 and 10 minutes early, so we may be able to proceed on a faster schedule. But in the case that that doesn't happen, we will just take a short break in between interviews. And finally, a reminder, none of you need this reminder, that we live in a very close-knit community, and you may have personal relationships with an applicant or familiarity with their work beyond what they have submitted in their application today. You may also be aware of other accomplishments or awards they have received. Your decision today should be based solely on the submitted artist statement, artwork samples provided, and their interview. Are there any questions? And I know there is likely something that could be added to round out that brief overview.
No questions, commissioners? Sarah and Monique, I'd like to thank you for all your preparation. I think it's just remarkable, given your workload, that you do this kind of diligence. And I'm very appreciative. I think it really helps our commission. You have been exemplary in communication, and I hope the students feel that as well. But I really appreciate all the detailed work you've been doing. We need to ask for public comment at this time, but we're not taking video comments anymore. So then we will start with the interviews. So it's Mario Alioto is the first student that's going to be interviewed. And how about Scott, you start and we rotate this way through the questions.
Thank you.
Hi, Mario.
Hi.
Do you want to introduce yourself first?
Yeah. So hi, my name is Mario Alioto. I am a senior at the high school this year, and I will be going off for college next year in the fall.
Thank you. And what pronouns would you prefer?
Oh, I go by he, him.
Thank you. Commissioner Van
Okay.
Wagner?
Mario, as we get started with our questions, we'd like to cut to the chase and find out what you would do with the award money if you were selected as the number one artist.
So it would definitely help pay for my college at UCLA. So that's where I will be attending, as I was trying to withhold that until now. So it helped pay for my education, and especially the education throughout the arts as well. And it would just help me to continue my passion throughout my highly, while pursuing a higher education and through college.
Thank you. What motivated the pieces that you submitted? And there were 3 very different submissions, so which is unlike anything we've seen before in 3 categories.
Yeah. I guess what motivated me was trying to like show myself as an artist, showing the different ways I can express myself through art, through, drama on stage, through tap dancing, which I've been pursuing since I was 3 years old or so, and recent art as well, with the video that I submitted, the music video. I recently just picked that up during school this year, part of the video arts program at the high school, and as soon as the music video project happened during November time, it really impacted me because I found a passion I like doing, putting together music and dance and acting into one. So that's why I chose the music video, and also I believe that was part of my best work as well throughout the whole entire class this year. The dance, however, it was just one of my favorite pieces that I learned. I fell in love with it ever since I started it. Yes, it was very challenging to do, don't get me wrong, but after practicing, it really just made me have fun with it and learn to move along with the dance and to hit each and every beat along with it. And the acting, I love playing characters, especially ones that are very just out there, With the scene that I submitted, it's from Rango, the chameleon. And I submitted it because it shows just the dynamics of switching between emotions really fast and different characters really fast in not a great amount of time as well. So that's why I show these, because they all challenged myself, but it also made me come to love the pieces that I was creating or that I was performing or dancing to.
Thank you.
Great.
Commissioner Momsen?
Great. Of the pieces you submitted, or maybe a piece you didn't, what's your strongest work, and why do you think it's your strongest?
I think my strongest piece is the tap dancing. I've been doing it for 14 plus years. And it just really resonates with me because it's something that, I've been doing for so long and experimenting with, the song was more of like a funk and upbeat type, but I've done slower types. I've done more musical theater, types of dance as well. So this one really, I think it's the strongest one since it also challenged me footwork wise. There were some moves in there I cannot do for the life of me until I just kept practicing to eventually I got it down. So I think just showing through that hard work, that's why I submitted it.
Commissioner Emerson?
how busy you must be. Is there anything that you're working on right now?
Yeah, actually there is. So I'm working on another music video right now, which is not technically affiliated with the video arts class. I am doing it for more of a personal side, but Mr. Hansen is thankfully letting me check out some of his equipment to borrow. I do this. I did it during school time twice. I filmed 2 scenes so far, and I'm gonna film 2 more in the next couple weeks or so, and finish editing it, and hopefully get it out onto YouTube for people to see. You know, just some fun. And I'm also for dancing wise, I'm not really doing anything acting right now. I'm starting to choreograph a dance I'm gonna do for Performing Arts Camp, which I'm a counselor and choreographer at for the summer.
Commissioner Knudsen.
Is there anything else that you'd like to share with us?
Yeah. So I have Tourette's and ADHD, so it's pretty hard to focus, especially while up on stage. And it takes me, I wouldn't say a longer time to get like keen to or like honing into the art I am performing, but it is pretty challenging. But when I am on stage, though, it does kind of go away, if you know what I mean. Like, it doesn't happen. I'm more focused on, giving what the audience wants, or, saying my lines correctly, or getting the choreography down, rather than focusing on my disability personally. And that's when I know I'm in my moment, because everything else just fades away and I'm right there. So that's a nice thing about art that I've noticed, especially with Tourette's. But besides that, I've done plays around town, from Sonoma Arts Live, Christmas Story a couple years back, to 2 years of Shakespeare recently. I've done all the plays and musicals at the theater, from the 3 radio plays during COVID to West Side Story sophomore year, to Clue, and to Mamma Mia this year. When I was at the middle school, I did all the shows, from Lion King to Aladdin to Shrek, which unfortunately got canceled due to COVID. I've done Witchy Poo and Performing Arts Camp all my life, and recently, for the past 4 years or so, I've been helping out and counseling at Performing Arts and Witchy Poo. And Performing Arts Camp, I have been a counselor, have been a choreographer last year, which I am going to continue to this year as well.
Other questions, commissioners? Follow-ups?
Well, congrats on UCLA.
Thank you.
That's awesome. What do you plan on studying there? And if not in the arts, do you plan on still pursuing the theater and everything while you're there?
So I got into the pre-business economics course, and I'm hopefully going to double major in financial, actuarial, mathematics. But I do really want to have a theater minor in my back pocket, because just continuing what I love, keeping that theater aspect. And I do plan on, taking art. I'm going to take art classes, majority theater and dance throughout college as well, and film, because UCLA has a great film program, and audition for stuff around LA and take dance classes with professionals, because I know a lot of them are in LA, and I've been wanting to do that for a while. Just having my mom, who was my dance teacher in middle school, show videos to the whole entire class, and I remember watching it. I'm like, wow, I want to take that. They're all down in LA, so it's really just the the distance, but thankfully I'll be right there, so that's where I could just continue my art passion.
Great.
Other commissioners, questions, follow-up?
Question. With your tap dancing and your music videos, how do you go about choosing the music?
That's a good question. So with the music, for the music video specifically, I try to go for more of a lyric-based, and then I try to build off the lyrics from there. Like in the video I submitted, I try to show duality, and especially in a lot of other stuff that I've created. As you would see in the blue, that kind of represents sadness, and the red represents pride. And the guy walking and running through the aisles and the back of the theater, that's him split apart. That's showing his, pride side, his sad side. and him just trying to find himself through that and trying to break free of just both of them. Because if one takes over, you can't, like, there's no coming back. You have to have an equal balance between the two. So that's what I try to show through my music videos, more of a lyrical side, through lighting and talking and expressions. Tap, however, I try to go with the more of the beat-wise, seeing if I could really just land each like tap or step on beat. So I think for tap-wise, it's more like musically inclined. For music video, it's more lyrically inclined.
Other, Commissioner Emerson?
So the music video that you're currently working on right now, can you tell us a little bit more about it? How long is it? What is it about?
Yeah.
How did it come about to be created?
Yeah. So I wanted to do another music video before the year ended, and it starts off in a therapy session, and it's about just trying to, figure out yourself and trying to deal with the hardships in your past. It starts off as black and white, and it transitions through color until the end of the music video where it goes back to black and white. And I'm trying to show that not everything, it's kind of funny that I say this, just keep repeating black and white, but there's the term, black and white. You don't see the color. But through the therapy session, through the music video, I'm trying to show that what someone says might not mean what they're actually feeling. So through the interpretation with the colors and all that throughout the music video, I'm trying to show that that's what they're feeling in the moment. That's what's actually happening rather than just the surface level that they're explaining to someone. So that's what I'm trying to show through the music video. And it's like 3.5 to 4 minutes, give or take. So it's definitely longer than my first music video.
Other questions?
What's the song?
United in Grief by Kendrick Lamar.
Thanks.
Yep.
Mario, do you have any questions of us?
No, I don't think so. Just thank you guys for your time today. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks a lot. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Oh, don't forget your certificate. Thanks. So our next interview, I believe, is Adriel. Oh, Alina, sorry.
Thank you.
Hi, Alina. Welcome to Cultural and Fine Arts Commission. We know this setup is a little formal and a little intimidating, and most of us empathize, can empathize as students because we've been in your position before. So as we introduce the questions, which are the same questions that every candidate gets, we will tell you a little bit about ourselves too, so that you'll have a level of understanding of who you're speaking to. What pronouns should we refer to you?
She, her, please.
Thank you very much. And we will have Commissioner Smalls start.
Hi.
Commissioner Small, could you turn on your microphone, please? Thank you.
Oh, the button that's, yeah. Okay. Now everybody can hear me. But, well, thank you for your submissions. We really appreciate it. It said, if you were to win the award, how would it impact you and your future goals?
Well, one of my future goals is to attend college and further my education. As I am a first-generation student, it would be a dream to go to college. And I really want to become a criminal defense attorney in the future. So going to law school and broadening my horizons would be one of the ways this award would help me. First of all, to get into college, that academic resume. And then also being able to purchase a laptop, which would help me further my education. I would also be able to purchase better materials in the future, such as like oil paints or canvases, which are very expensive, and I personally can't afford them now, so it would be great to be able to afford them.
Thank you.
Commissioner Von Wagner.
Okay. Alina, what motivated the pieces that motivated you to create the pieces that you submitted?
My cultural background as a Mayan Mexican American student has really motivated the vibrancy in my pieces. I really use a lot of color and, I guess, vibrant emotions in my pieces, and that's really a big inspiration for me and has motivated most of my pieces, as well as my background at home. I have 4 sisters. That's a lot, but I do. And they've really motivated me to create pieces that portray women of color and people of other ethnicities who don't traditionally fit American stereotypes over beauty ideals. And that's been really, I guess, a motivation to create the pieces I do.
My name is Connie. I was a former art teacher and art professor, and I'm an artist and was a student artist as well, as I mentioned. What do you think your strongest work is that you submitted and why?
Nice to meet you, first of all. My strongest work has to be the first submission I did to the award. It's titled Self-Love, and it portrays a Pacific Islander woman, and she's standing and she's covered with, I guess, natural aspects around her. And I think that's my best submission and best work because it really captures my motivations and what I want to represent in my artwork and in a classroom setting, which is my heritage, people of color, and just people who don't fit the stereotypes or any type of, I guess, conservative ideal. Yes.
Commissioner Momsen.
Hi.
Hi.
I also was a student artist at Sonoma Valley High. I now teach 5th grade at El Verano. My goal is to become an art teacher. And I went and got a degree in art after high school. What are you currently working on?
I'm currently working on a self-portrait of myself. It's been really hard in the past to be able to create something so identical to myself, even though I do have aspects of myself in all my portraits, I feel like. And just being able to portray myself has been difficult because I haven't benefited from taking an art class at my high school, because I've been really, I guess, focused on representing myself and my Latino background in more academically challenging subjects and really hard classes such as AP classes, because those classes usually lack diversity. So it's been really important for me to do that. And yeah, I'm trying to portray myself in a self-portrait. And it's been really challenging at first, but I think I'm getting the hang of it. So
Great. Can I ask a follow-up right now? Or do you want me to wait?
Sure, go ahead and ask the
Just
follow-up.
to be, so you haven't taken any art classes before?
no, I'm a self-taught artist. Yeah.
Thank you.
Commissioner Emerson.
I wish I could say I was an artist, but I am not. I am a great appreciation of art and collect art, and really enjoy working on the commission to be exposed to people like yourself. So thanks so much for submitting. My question is there anything that you would like to share with us?
I'm very grateful for this opportunity because I'm not part of an art class. I guess I wasn't told by an art teacher or any type of teacher about this opportunity. I was actually told by a friend to join, and I thought it was great, and I'm very grateful to be here. So thank you. Yeah.
Commissioners, follow-up questions.
Hi, I'm Meredith Knudsen.
Hi.
Nice to meet you, and thank you for submitting your work. I'm an artist myself. Did high school art and my degrees in art, and I manage public art programs. And I'd encourage you to keep going with these types of portraits and the cultural identity pieces too. It's really beautiful.
Thank you.
I love the fact that you're doing a self-portrait. That was one of my questions were these self-portraits, because there is a similarity I see. So where do you currently find your images for these portraits?
I find these images for the portraits from people around me.
Mm-hmm.
My sisters hold some of my physical characteristics, and of course the woman I portray, I want to portray someone of different sexual identities, different cultural backgrounds, and my family for sure is one of my biggest inspirations for these portraits.
Great, thank you.
Commissioners, other questions? Follow up?
I'm really happy. Oh, go ahead.
So you mentioned self-taught. That's awesome. I'm similar.
Thank you.
I'm a musician, self-taught.
That's great. I could
But
never.
how? So I guess, as being self-taught, when did you focus and say, this is something I'm really passionate about? Has it been a recent discovery? Is it something you've been building over the course of years? Like, when did you just jump in and because your work is tremendous.
Thank you.
How long of a process
means so
has it
much.
been?
Well, I started art very early on and just like doing art, as a child. I thought it was just so really great and I felt very passionate about, the people around me. And I just wanted to create art that wasn't just, a certain type of race or ethnicity. So I really started, I guess, focusing on my portraits around 10 years old. So it's been 6 years now and it's been really great to grow as an artist. Just every day hard work has been. I know I pledged when I was younger to do a portrait at least once a day or, draw something at least once a day, and I've kept that up for 6 years. So, thank you.
Follow-up questions, Commissioners?
That's really inspiring that you're able to actually do it every day. Every year I'm like, okay, every day I'm going to do this thing. Like, by now it's over. It's like I haven't been doing it. So great. And I also love that you're doing a self-portrait. And yeah, I hope to see it when you're done. It's really empowering. I've done a lot of self-portrait series, and it's a very empowering experience. So thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
I'd love to just commend your broadening your horizons and your interest in social justice and what you aspire to do. We typically don't read that sort of thing in artist statements, so it was quite unusual. And many of the commissioners, I'm sure, resonated with that. So, thank you for submitting. And do you have any questions of us?
No, I think this was a great opportunity. Thank you for the opportunity itself. I was very lucky.
Good luck to you. Thank you.
Thank you. It was very nice meeting you all.
Thanks.
Thank you for your time.
Next, I believe we have Adriel here. I don't know that I'm saying his name right, but or their name right.
Hello.
Hi. Am I saying your name right? Adriel?
Yes, that's perfect.
Okay, wonderful. And what pronouns would you prefer?
He, him, please.
Thank you. And we know this is a little intimidating up here, a little more formal than we would like. We normally are trying to sit down and talk to people on their level, and we're a little Wizard of Ozzy up here. And so we don't want that to bother you. This is
no
really
problem.
just a discussion. So we ask the same 5 questions of each contestant here, applicant, and we'll introduce ourselves to you as we go. And so I believe we left off with Commissioner Small. Commissioner Knutson is up this right now.
Nice to meet you, Adriel.
Nice to meet you.
I'm Commissioner Knutson. I'm an artist myself. I did art in high school and got my bachelor's in fine art, and now I manage public art programs. So it's really inspiring having you here today with your artwork. So thank you.
Thanks.
If you were to win this award, how would it impact you and your future goals?
So my goal is to become a filmmaker, and that's what I aspire to do. And with this this award and the money that comes with the award, I would be able to pursue my passion for filmmaking really at a great extent. I'd use it for furthering my education in film, for one thing. I intend to attend Sonoma State University upcoming this fall, enrolled in the cinematic arts program up there, and with this money I would be able to use it to further my ambitions in filmmaking, because really that's really what my life encompasses. I mean, that's pretty much all I think about film, and that's all my passion, my ambitions all surround film. So really, I'm being awarded this would be a true honor, and enable me to be able to use that money to pursue my passion to its fullest extent. Thank you.
Commissioner Small.
Hello.
Microphone again. Buttons. Anyways, pleasure. Thank you so much for your submission. What motivated the pieces that you submitted?
I hesitate to say passion because I really feel like it's more of an obsession. Going into this, but the piece I submitted was a trailer for a feature film that I've been working on for 2 years of my life. And going into this, we had nothing to gain, really nothing to prove. I knew that we wouldn't be able to profit from it. Starting out, it was just really me and fueled by my own delusion, thinking that no one had ever done, that I know had done a feature film, at my school before. And all I had was, my own wits and the wits of my small friend group around me. And really it started out kind of as an innocent, kind of really a almost pure thing where we were just, hey, let's make a movie together. And really that evolved into something I can't even begin to describe how large of a scale it has grown into, and I've been so honored to be able to have a part in that, to this kind of project that has grown from just the humble beginnings that it started as into something this big. Because initially, I would say it was a project that we wanted to start for fun. And that was our main motivator because we couldn't make money off of it. We didn't really think anyone would see it. We would just put it on YouTube when we were done. But eventually, as we kept going, it still is fun to film and to make films. And obviously, enjoyment is the biggest, one of the biggest motivators you can have. But I realized that the further we progressed, that fun wasn't really enough of a motivator. And it wasn't anything that changed. It's just, I feel like filmmaking is, the reason I am so drawn to it is because it encompasses so many art forms, and it's a culmination of writing, of artwork, visual art, of music, of costume design, of acting, so many things culminated into one. And because it is such an all-encompassing and large art form, that it became really an enormous task to handle. We thought we were going to be done with the film in 2 weeks, and here we are 2 years later, still chugging along. Because of that, really fun wasn't enough. Because of how large of a scale it grew into, fun wasn't enough of a motivator to continue. And really, I had to, at a certain point, take a look at myself and say, why am I doing this? What is my motivator? And even standing in front of you guys now, I can't really give a specific answer as to what is the end goal. Because really, when you're working on a project like this big scale, we've like the trailer you saw, that it's because we've been working on this for so long, sometimes there's not even, because you'd say, oh, it's worth it all in the end, but we haven't been able to see the end yet. So we're kind of just, we don't have that gratification that a lot of other, that artists are able to have. Like, we can see the finished art piece, well, we still haven't seen it. So I had to take a moment to really think about what is my motivator here, and what it boils down to, really, I think, is a lot of the times I would ask myself, why am I doing this? And really the answer is that I can't not do it, almost. Whereas I feel like, even though I can't point pinpoint exactly why I'm doing it. It's that I can't stop filmmaking. It's really, I have to do it for me to live. Honestly, I mean, that sounds a bit eccentric, but really, I mean, when you boil it down to it, I can't pinpoint to you guys the reason why I did it. Why did I decide to pursue this? I mean, it became so much more than it started. It's a small Batman movie, and but it became so much more than that. It really, the more I poured myself into this, the more, I mean, it's something that I thought about, something that it was all I was thinking about, and I had a story to tell, and really that's just the motivation that became it, that I have this story to tell and I can't not tell it. It needs to come out of me, and that I'd say is my motivation, that I can't, this story that I have needs to be told, and that's the only reason why I need to do it. So.
Thank you. Commissioner Van Wagner.
Hi, good afternoon. Hey, Joe. I'm a jazz musician, so I have an affinity for the arts, and I try and incorporate different art forms into my music and express it. So, yeah, I like the fact that you've submitted your video. Do you have a favorite video that you've produced, or what do you think is your strongest work, and why? Yeah.
So far, I'd say one of the highlights has been a short film I produced that I worked on for. It wasn't my submission, but it was titled Omen, and it was a short film I produced that I was working on alongside this large feature film that I've been working on, and it was an 11-minute long short film that. It was really the reason it holds a large sentimental attachment to me, just because, I mean, Bad Night in Gotham, which is the trailer that I submitted for this panel to see, that was my magnum opus of what I've been working on. While as this short film Omen was really because I had so much emotions poured into Bad Night in Gotham, and so much of my time and so much work poured into that. Omen was kind of a way for me to, it was completely unrelated to the large film that I was making, and Omen was a way for me to kind of remove myself from that and kind of take a breather almost, which it sounds funny because even my breather, even my break is even filmmaking too. So my moment of relaxation was I was able to film that out with some family members out in nature. We filmed up by Jack London here in town, and then over at Point Reyes too. And it was really a therapeutic kind of experience for me, just because it was so. I mean, with the feature film, I've had to direct over like our big shoot. And there's a shot of this in the trailer out in the football field. We had about 40 people that day, so it was me directing a crowd of around 40 people. Whereas Omen, it was just me and a couple of my family members out in the woods, and it was really, I was able to take my time and to really be patient with each of the shots, get the perfect lighting and everything. And it was just a really therapeutic experience for me to be able to take a breather from the large film that I was making, and just kind of relax and explore myself through that other film, which was fun to do, because I've learned so much from filming my feature film, because we've been doing it for we've been over a year and a half now in production. So starting from then, I mean, I've learned so much from filming that one film, and Omen is something that I've been able to implement all those skills into like a brand new little film, and that is a piece that I can actually say is finished, and it's kind of like I can have that gratification of seeing a little piece of what hopefully the large feature film will turn into. So, yeah.
When you say we, who are you referring to?
Myself, and then when I say I'm referring to myself, and then when I say we, as in the people who have worked on the large feature film, so myself, the director, and then all the actors. And
yeah, so who are you collaborating with?
I'm collaborating with, so my friend group is who I casted as the main actors in my feature film. And I have a friend, Nick Martinez, and then John Oliveros, Giovanni Ortiz, and yeah, they play the other three main characters, and then our big shoot was out in Midgley Field on a football field, and I was able to gather a large amount of students, around 40 students, as well as some staff members that came to help us out at the field too, to do a big action sequence that you get a glimpse of in the trailer. But yeah, that was a really cool experience to do. Yeah.
Nice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Connie, and I was an art teacher 20 years, visual art, and then actually inherited Hewlett-Packard's old video equipment and started a video program, which was one of the first in the country, and taught film and video for 10 years. It changed my teaching and really turned me on. I hear what you're saying. It's socially exciting. You're not in a garret anymore by yourself. You're actually interacting. So I appreciate your comments about how important video is and how obsessive it can be. Saying that and realizing that you are working on your magnum opus, aside from that, what are you currently working on?
I'm currently working on, I mean, really, I'm always thinking about film, and I'm always thinking about new ideas that I can do. So while I'm trying to wrap up the large film, I'm always thinking about what other things I can start working on. I mean, and I guess that's a bit of a problem of mine, that before I finish one thing, I'm always thinking about what other stories I can tell. And I try to not think about, when I think of inspiration. I mean, Omen, which was the film I was talking about, a short film. I was really stressing out about that because I knew I wanted to do, that one was a school project for the video arts class that I'm enrolled in. Omen was, and we were given like months ahead of time. I think it was like 2 months ahead of time to think of what we were going to do, and I barely landed on that idea around like 2 weeks before the due date, and it was because, and I saw all my peers around me thinking of ideas, like trying to think of that, and I realized that I don't work that way. That I can't think of an idea. I can't when I set out to make a movie or make an artwork, it isn't that I try to think, okay, what can I make? Like I have let's say I had a blank piece of paper in front of me. I don't think, what can I fill this paper with? It's really that the image comes first in my head, and then I need to grab a piece of paper and draw it out, because it isn't what story can I make up. It's the story comes first inside of me, and then I'm like, oh, I need to make a movie about this, because now I have to say something. I have a story that needs to be told, and really that's how I operate, and that's I'm always thinking about that, and I try not to think of oh, I want to make this genre movie, and then I don't think of, oh, what characters can I add into this. I think of the characters first, and I think, oh wait, this is the direction that it goes. So it almost comes to me naturally. Like I can't think spontaneously of what's a good movie idea, and I can't think of what should I make this movie on. It's the things come to me first, and then, oh, I need to make a movie on this. So I have multiple scripts that I'm working on right now, or just ideas just kind of floating around, and I'm always thinking about that, about things are always coming to me, and I think it was David Lynch who said that your job isn't to create ideas, you just need to catch them, and I really try to live by that, whereas ideas fly by you all the time, and inspiration just flies by you, and you're trying to think of ideas, it's futile. Like you can't just come up with something. You can't think. It's like looking at a blank piece of paper. You can't think, what can I fill this space with? It's just, you have the idea first, and it'll come to you in time. So it's really just about being open and just taking in your surroundings, and eventually it'll come to you, and it'll be bursting out of you until you have to do it, like I did with this big movie, where you feel it in your bones, and you just need to make it. So
Thank you. Commissioner Momsen.
Thank you for sharing so much with us. It's been a pleasure to hear everything you have to say. I also have a background in art, high school, and an art degree. Now I teach the 5th grade at El Verano, and my goal is to become an art teacher. Is there anything else you want to share with us?
I'd just like to say thank you for listening, hearing this opportunity. Thank you for this opportunity. Yeah, I'm really honored to be able to share this with you all, and just seeing how many artists, like I was talking about, how film is like encompassing of so many different art forms. So it's really humbling to be able to hear about all of you guys and all your how all of you are artists, and just think about how film is encompassing of all those different art forms, and how so many people go into creating art. It isn't solely just the efforts of one person, really. I mean, it's the results of surroundings and like your environment, and yeah, just seeing how everyone is able to be so diverse, and we're all united by art is cool. So,
Commissioners, follow-up questions to the questions already answered?
Yeah, I'd like to ask you a question. You know, we were talking about what motivates you to create the videos that you've produced and brought to fruition. Who would you say is your biggest influence?
Ooh, that's an interesting question. I would say, in terms of filmmakers, I really look up towards Christopher Nolan, and just the way he's able to. Christopher Nolan and Denis Villeneuve are two of my favorite directors. Just the way they're able to like tell such large scope of stories while still maintaining like that the story aspect, and being able to tell like such a profound story. Especially Denis Villeneuve with being able to tell such emotional stories while still having that, encompassing it in like a blockbuster, and having the spectacle of they balance so well the technical aspects of filmmaking with the storytelling and the art aspects. But I know that's kind of a basic answer, saying two filmmakers, so I'd really kind of like to say like some of my biggest influences are just the people around me, and people like my family and my dad and stuff, and just hearing his stories and my grandparents' stories about, I really like to look at people and their stories, and I want to tell. Part of my filmmaking is there's so much, the complexity of humans and their emotions. I mean, the amount of things you're able to learn from someone's story, and just sitting down with someone. I mean, sitting down with my grandparents and just hearing their stories, hearing what they have to say. I mean, there's so much. It encompasses so much. I mean, their ambitions, their joys, like their pain. You can hear that all from a story, and that's why I think storytelling and this art form of film, being able to tell stories through visual and audio and that medium, is so powerful, because it's really about it. All goes back to humans and being able to express that emotions, and so being able to capture that with a camera and with an audio device on capture that human emotion of as if you were standing right in front of someone. I mean, really, it boils down to that, to how powerful stories are, and so the stories my grandparents have told me, the stories my parents have told me. Being a filmmaker, I want to capture that, and I feel like it's so important to keep that alive, to keep people's stories alive, and so yeah, I'd say that is my biggest inspiration, people around me.
Other questions, commissioners? Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
We wish you a lot of luck.
Thank you.
I believe Solano is here. Solano, come on up. Welcome. This is Cultural and Fine Arts Commission. We don't mean to be intimidating. We're up here on this stand, but we would prefer to be down there with you and make it a little more intimate. But it's just a conversation. We're all into art, and so it's kind of fun to talk to young people about art. What pronouns would you prefer?
She, her.
Thank you. And we're going to ask the same questions, same 5 questions we have of all. You heard a little bit of it less, and we'll be asking follow-up questions. And we each will introduce ourselves so that you will know a little about our background, and that should help a bit. I believe Commissioner Emerson is up first.
Hi, Solana. I'm Deb Emerson. I've been on the commission for several years. I'm not an artist by trade. I did a little bit of acting and some music in high school and college, but I wouldn't consider myself an artist. But definitely appreciate the arts, and I'm an art collector as well. So I'm very excited to see your pieces, and thank you for being here. If you were the winner of this award, can you tell us how it would impact your future and your goals?
I think that winning this award would motivate me to continue my art throughout like college. And although I am majoring in an environmental science type of, or I'm doing environmental policy for my major at UC Berkeley, but I'm hoping to have like a minor in an art related course because I find that art is genuinely like part of my everyday life, and I don't think I could do like a course in like college without having it be, or like having art as an option. And I think winning this award would allow me to continue that and give me more opportunities to just explore my abilities and use like what I can and what I have, or what is there for me, and take opportunities that I usually wouldn't have, and just keep doing art for the future.
Thank you. Commissioner Knutson?
Hi, I'm Meredith. I'm an artist myself. I have my degree in studio art, and I currently manage public art programs. So thank you for applying. Your artwork's beautiful.
Thank you.
What motivated the pieces that you submitted?
A lot of those pieces I did this year, and they were motivated by kind of just reminiscing of my childhood and nostalgia. And a lot of those pieces are either personal, like related to me and my childhood and how I grew up. And when I created them, I kind of had in mind just like what I was kind of what I was gonna leave in this upcoming year, and like I was just connecting back to my childhood and just like being very grateful of what I grew up with and my like opportunities that I had. And some of those art pieces are related to like my education. I know I had a piece where I had a heart full of stars relating to like how grateful I am for my education growing up. And a lot of those pieces are also just like tributes to my family and my friends for just being there and supporting me. So I think they motivate me a lot.
Great, thank you.
Commissioner Small?
Is the microphone on this time? Hi, I'm Ryan. Thank you for your submissions. I am a musician, a graphic artist, and a art collector, and it was awesome to see somebody with so much range. You've got all sorts of stuff in here. I guess which one, what do you think's your strongest work and why?
I think personally each piece has their own like connection and like meaning to me, but currently my strongest work I would say would be, I think it's, I didn't put a title, but it's the Joan of Arc like pen sketch. And recently I've been very inspired by like architecture and like Gothic architecture. I recently went to France for a school trip, and I went to a lot of cathedrals, and just being in like such a big area and environment where I was just surrounded by constant art and like architecture just made me want to create a piece so badly. So the moment I came home, I just put it all out on paper, and I updated it recently and I added a border, and I'm just very proud of that piece because it's been a while since I've been so motivated to create something, and I was very happy with how it turned out. So.
Thank you. Commissioner Van Wagner?
Yeah, hi Solana. Scott Van Wagner. I'm a musician, and I have to agree with you. I think your pen of you said Joan of Arc?
Yes.
Yeah, it's probably my favorite as well. What are you currently working on?
Currently, I'm preparing for the art gallery at the school, but I've been doing some last minute additions to like my collection, and currently I'm working on like an oil or water-based oil painting of stained glass windows that I saw. Again, I've been very inspired by the whole like cathedral church type of thing, so I hope to finish that as soon as I can, and I hope to present it at the gallery. But yeah.
Thank you. I'm Connie. I'm a retired art teacher and art professor from University of Northern Colorado. And I am very into student art and arts education. Is there anything else you would like to share with us?
I kind of like to touch back on the range that I'm working with. When I think of like art, I don't really limit myself to like a specific type like of category or something. So I've been trying to broaden my abilities. So this year I took a photography class for the first time, and I think I included one photo that I've done, and just being able to have access to these like opportunities in this town is just so amazing to me, because I would never have thought of like picking up a camera and just trying to like make creative photographs outside of my own time. So just having these opportunities makes me very grateful, and I'm very grateful for this opportunity as well. So I'd like to thank you guys too for allowing this.
Yeah. Commissioners, follow-up questions to the questions that were already asked.
Do you have any questions for us?
Do you guys still like create art to this like after you like graduated school and things? Do you still create art on your personal lives or in your personal lives?
I'm working on a comic right now, just for fun. It's about a female vampire who accidentally kills all of her prospects.
Yeah. So I'm performing live in front of audiences every week. So I'm very much inspired by getting out and making others happy with the music that I'm creating that makes me happy. So it's a nice give and take. Getting inspiration from the audience, and then inspiring them to appreciate what's being created live on stage. But it's continues, and it will probably to the day I decide to leave my body. Yeah.
Commissioners?
Yeah.
I do still create some, but I used to sell outside of art school after I graduated for about 10 years. But now I'm very immersed into the public art scene, helping other artists create art, and I also teach. So it's something I feel like I'll always do and have to do. So I love it.
One of the terms they use for art teachers and arts administrators is shadow artist. And I've been a shadow artist for about 50 years. And I've decided I don't want to be in the shadows anymore. So I'm working on a photo show right now of some of the travel that I've done. And also submitting to the city's photography contest. Didn't win, but I got in. Thank you for that question. It was an interesting one. We never get to talk about those things on the commission, so it's kind of fun. Anybody else want to? Ryan, you want to comment?
Short answer is yes, absolutely. I can't not make art. I'm a musician ever since I got bit by the bug when I was little, making guitars out of cardboard boxes and doing the whole thing. I went on to produce. I've got a studio in my house, and it's just you gotta keep. Sometimes we just have to as artists, and so it's a daily thing for me. I don't do music professionally anymore, but sometimes we just have to create. Creators got to create. So appreciate it.
And one of the things I'd like to just say is that as an art teacher, I was always very interested in making sure that my students knew how to create art, not just from assignments, but from their own personal desires for in finding their own problems. Problem finding is maybe the highest level of an art experience. And it feels like you are constantly pursuing that, looking back, and thank you for your work and coming.
Of course.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Good luck to you.
Thank you so much.
I believe at this time we have a interview that has been pre-recorded.
Yes, so we turn on your monitors. And this was submitted last night. They were given the same amount of time with the questions as all applicants were, and were asked to do a self-interview because there was no other option, and was advised to do one take and to not do any editing, and to try to simulate a very similar experience. But they were very disappointed that they had to do it in this format rather than be here. So I wanted to relay that to you.
And this is my interview for the award program. The first question is, if you were to win the award, how would it impact you and your future goals? I have always wanted to pursue art in some sort of way as a career because it's just what I love doing most, and this would really give me that push to go forward in pursuing schooling and other opportunities as art major, pretty much. What motivated the pieces that you submitted? A lot of my pieces are inspired by emotions, which is kind of like basic when you first look at it, but it really dives into how I feel more than just emotions as is. I want to be able to be connected to my pieces and really show something that I've gone through. What do you think is your strongest work and why? My strongest piece of work has to be one of the paintings that I submitted. It was a self-portrait of me at the time, turning and basically essentially holding back tears, and to me that was the biggest connection that I had to this piece of work, because I was really struggling at the time with keeping up with school, work, and a loss of my family, my pet, and so I was basically holding in a lot of pain at the time, and art was my escape. I was able to really express myself and be myself truly and not have to rely on other people to have an outlet, and you can really see the emotion in it and you can feel it when you essentially look at the painting, and that's why I believe it's my best work. It may not be the most eye candy, some may say, but I truly believe that that is my greatest piece. What are you currently working on? I currently work with a lot of more 3D pieces like ceramics, sewing. I do a lot of mediums besides just painting. However, I want to work on growing my skills with acrylic painting rather than drawing traditional work or digital work, because I do work with all mediums. And I was working on a few pieces of paintings for a little while, but I ended up putting those on pause so I could focus on other mediums of work and just explore what I want to do with my future. But I am just kind of doing what I want. I don't want to do what other people want from me. I want to do something that I enjoy. And so I'm focusing on what makes me happy, and that's what I'm working on, is my happiness. Anything I'd like to share? This is my first competition, I would say. The first thing I've ever submitted to do some sort of award program or scholarship, and I just really appreciate the time that I've been given and the chance of doing this in the first place, because I feel like this will definitely push me to do more in the future, and it would be a great help and advantage for me to be able to win this award if I were to. It gives me hope. This competition gave me hope. So thank you for that, and I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you.
So with that, we need to start deliberations. It may be that we need to take a break, and the commissioners may need to be able to look over their notes and their rubrics and get themselves ready for the next step.
Absolutely, your discretion. If there's a certain time frame that you would like to set, we can just note that so that everybody is aware.
Do you need the time, commissioners, to go over things? Okay, small break, maybe 5-minute break.
5-minute break. Sounds
Okay,
good.
so back at 10 till. Commissioners, we are now about to start the deliberations for this 2024 Student Artist of the Year award, not a scholarship, but an award. And I would like to suggest that we perhaps one by one go through, well, we may want to take nominations to begin with before we start to do the discussions, because some of you may already want to nominate. Ryan, or Commissioner Small?
As I wasn't present at the last, the first batch of folks, would it be, I guess, more fair? Should I be recusing myself from voting for this, as I did not see the first 4 interviews?
Commissioner Emerson?
Well, I viewed all of them. I also was not present, but I did watch all of the interviews and have as I assume you have as well. So I feel like we have as much representation. I would recommend that we could bring up any of the artists to speak about, but perhaps do that before any nominations are made.
Okay, thank you. We figured you had watched them.
Yeah.
And having this televised certainly helps, so you can catch up, so that we can have our full contingent, except for our youth commissioner.
Okay, great. Just keeping things above board here.
Does someone want to suggest an applicant to speak about them?
The two that, well, I was incredibly impressed by every single one of them. I was in awe, and it's awesome. We have these student artists here, which aren't even, I mean, they're artists, right? The way they're pursuing their craft. I love it. I circled on the first interview from the other week was Noah, the musician. Incredibly impressed, and the way he's pursuing his talents outside of school. I'm excited to see what he'll do. And I was really impressed by all of them today, but Adriel, I loved the way he spoke about his art, and I'm excited to see where he goes with that. So, yeah, those were my 2 tops, I would say.
I would agree. Both Noah and Adriel were my top scorers based on rubric and also interview, just what they had to say about their art and how involved they are in their art and how they both really want to pursue their art. So those are my top 2 as well.
Other commissioners?
Adriel struck a nerve just because it was similar. He's like, I just saw a lot of myself in there. He's like, we asked him, what was your motivation behind this thing? He's just, I don't know. I can't not make art. And that is something that's so important, to give somebody the resources. If they just have that bug and have that, obviously he's a talented kid, but I really liked that answer a lot. So.
Thank you. Other discussions and other along the Adriel line?
I was partial to Noah, being a musician, but I liked how he has committed himself. I mean, he is a really hard-working young man, and think about music as you never stop learning, and it seems like he's motivated by that. It's an endless process. So, and the fact that he talked about so many pieces that he's mastered was very impressive. And all the classics, Beethoven, Mozart, Brahms, Bach. He is very well versed for such a young guy. So that was my number 1, and I definitely think that Alina is special as well. I think her art is very powerful, and her approach as far as social justice and whatnot is kind of a cool underlying theme with the pieces that she has created and the ones that she's submitted. So those are my two favorites.
Emerson, Commissioner Emerson.
Well, I was so impressed with all of them, and I say that every year, and then every year they just make it tougher. And I think it's pretty amazing. A few weeks ago, we were very worried that we weren't even going to have any applicants, and now we have so many incredibly talented ones. I love that Mario showed us his versatility and, showed us all of the aspects of which we can appreciate art and live in that world. And I thought that was really well done. And obviously he carried himself extremely well. They all did. Like, their confidence and their way to, convey what's important to them is pretty incredible. I also really, when I watched Noah and also watched his performances in interviewing last week, very impressive. And I can't remember the last time that we've had a musical artist. I don't know if we've had one since I've been on the commission. So very impressed. But what I liked about Adriel, I thought, we're going to see this kid in like 20 years on the Oscar stage, just the way he was able to convey what he loves about art and how he's able to present it and bring it to us is a gift. So I'm going to be happy with whoever we choose because I think they're all outstanding artists, and I'm not going to be heartbroken if one doesn't get it over the other. I wish we had more money to give, to be honest, because so many are very deserving.
Others to talk about?
No, maybe because I don't know anything about music, but it felt like Noah knew so much about music. Like, he was very educated and really knew what he was talking about. It wasn't just like a side passion. It was like he was fully educated in what he was doing. With Adriel, I did get chills while he was talking, though. He just has such a presence and like really speaks well about his craft. He just, like you said, I could say, I was like, oh yeah, we're going to see this guy. It's like he already has such a presence. He already feels like an artist. Just the way he talks about what he's creating.
I have some thoughts about judging art and judging student art that I'd like to share. When I was teaching art, whether it was high school or college, and students would come to me and say, they may be a ninth grader, they may be a senior, and say they wanted to be an artist, the very first question I would ask them is, what do you do in your free time? What do you do with most of your free time? Because it's a very challenging career and it's very competitive. So you need to know that you're going to spend a lot of time in that. Many of the people that applied were not going to go into the art per se, our careers. I don't think we should hold that against them. But I do think that there is a level of filling your life with the arts that we see from some of these candidates. It's also challenging to look at rubrics and the artwork before we meet the actual students. Sometimes in performing arts you'll see them, but the visual arts you don't. And so you're just judging by a rubric of what you think is going on, and their writing. Their artist statements helped a lot. We also have a number of students who haven't been able to fit the arts into their elective classes. Noah, for instance, is one. and I believe Alina was as well. So, and that's a decided disadvantage, and they really have to work hard to keep up or compete. So, so I think that the interviews and the artist statement and the rubrics that we've created and hopefully will continue to refine, as well as our interview questions, which I feel we could work on as well, give a dimension to these student artists that really help by the time you're to this stage, and also make it very hard to do this final judging of. But I think you can see why I loved teaching, why some of us want to go into teaching. And teaching art, you fall in love with these kids and want their dreams to come true. So I think it's important at first to look at your rubrics, again, look at the scores, review them, and then let the interviews kind of guide you too, so that the emotions there. Yes.
I know it has their age on the applications, but it doesn't necessarily say what their year in school is unless they just happen to tell us in the interview.
That is correct. I did ask or confirm. I did not think to indicate which grade they were, if they were juniors or seniors. I know some of them shared their plans to go on to college. That was an indication, but I made a note actually of that to add it to the application process for next year.
The reason I ask is because since we don't have a lot of money this year, it would probably be my recommendation that we only select one so that it's more impactful. This is my personal opinion. I know we've given out more than one in years past. And I don't know if there's a younger student that may be very well qualified that could perhaps apply again next year if they weren't selected this year.
I loved that we had at least one student that applied again. And that tells me that our process is more solid, that they're willing to come back and try. And I also like that they were appreciative of the process so far. It seemed like it would be nice to reach out to them and ask them how we could improve the process as well. Other comments?
If we are taking age and like ability to apply again next year into consideration, Noah is only 16, so I would assume he's not yet a senior. Not that we have to make a decision based on that, but if it's getting tight and we need to narrow it down.
I personally don't think we should take that into consideration. I think there will be a different candidate pool next year. They may not be here to apply. I think we should follow more of a stricter guidelines of who won, not based on the age. So.
We haven't really spoken much about Mario, but I think the fact that he applied in 3 different categories was impressive to me. It also shows that he lives this, even though he's going into another field, but with a minor. And it showed that he was really dedicated to this. It's hard because, you know, we all know Mario, but I think we can be objective enough. But you know, it feels like our performing and video arts, to me, were the strongest.
Yeah, I think Mario was actually one of my higher candidates as well. I'm incredibly impressed by what he does, it's like the tap dancing, etc. I think, you know, all of those I can't do. I don't think you want to see, but it's such a skill, and his passion shines through in all of the areas of his application, and so I appreciated that with his work.
Yes.
Really more of a point of order question. Given that we have the $2,000 award for this specific program, but we have other funds, is there any way to direct any of those funds to allow this to be more impactful?
I did investigate that. This is something I have on, there's a number of pieces of this that various commissioners have asked to review. We have just really had some interesting situations that came up this year that have not occurred in the past. So we have some great opportunities to do some fine tuning. One of them is that we specifically currently indicate that additional funding is only available if it comes from the treasure artist reception, which was free this year. And so we used all of that funding. In past years, that's been a ticketed event. So that's not to say that that can't change for next year, but this year, because that is indicated, we are following that.
But the other funds that we have through, building design and those they're earmarked for certain things, or?
So if you're speaking about the public art fund, that is completely separate. I'm also speaking of last year we had some additional funds because the commission has taken on some additional responsibilities. For example, the chamber art exhibits and some other items so there was some additional funding in there. That's what I was looking at to see if we could access. So it was determined because currently it states it's directly tied to the treasure artist reception funds. There is earmarks for that specific purpose, which were all expended this year.
I know when I'm evaluating the work of each of these artists, I also look at who's coming off as being the most dedicated, and it was clear that Noah is extremely dedicated. Alina says she's been drawing every day since she was 10 and made that commitment early on, and then Mario. I mean, he is also extremely committed not to just one art form, but to three. So, as I evaluate, that's certainly a key component that I'm using to differentiate.
Thank you.
Adriel is also, he's described it as obsession.
Yeah.
Even on his breaks, he's his breathers are making other films. So I would add him to the dedicated category.
Adriel also wrote how he fundraised the $700 outside of Sebastiani playing music to get the props. So, it's a big passion. But I also don't want to discredit any of the painters or artists in here. They've all been painting and doing their art classes as well. It's just sort of the craftsmanship at the end of the work.
I went through and made a few notes about each of them. I thought Noah was exemplary in the use of opportunities outside of the community. He didn't have time to take music classes, and there aren't many left at the high school for him. So he got most of his training in vivo and was teaching in vivo, and also Santa Rosa Junior College, the performing that they do. So I think he was really exemplary in that, and also his musical knowledge, his musical history knowledge was quite impressive. Maggie Brown was, in terms of her landscape, she was very skilled. Her AP art comments showed that she was interested in expanding subject matter, but her love of subject came through, and she's showing a lot. Tessa was did some unique work, really that Hendrix piece that she did was pretty impressive, and I wanted to do public art. I'd love to see her do murals. She's a newbie in it, and I'd love to see what she does next. Genevieve Smith is back for the second time. Last time, if you remember, she did some really experimental things, dimensional things. She's persistent, experienced, multi-gifted. She did a video that showed that she is very interested in journalism and marketing as well as in film. So, and then Alina, with her social justice, and Adriel, fascinating, obsessive, Mario. We have highly dedicated people here. August, with her social emotional concerns, and Solana with environmental interests. So quite a divergent group of people.
Something I do really respect about Noah is he's also giving back to the community by helping out at Vivo after school music program, for those of you that don't know.
Cool.
Yeah. And then Mario also does the summer theater camp, or I don't know what it's actually called, but both of them giving back to the community and the arts.
I thought the polish of, when I look at video, it's interesting to see some raw ideas and some exciting, interesting ideas, but also some finished pieces. And I think that Genevieve's was beautifully put together and really showed craftsmanship. And even though it was a very quick piece by her, it also gave dimension. I was bothered that one of them, August, I thought only had 4 pieces. I didn't see the 5th piece. There was supposed to be a creative writing sample, I think, in there, and it wasn't there.
What happened was there was an accident or not accidental, but if you select writing, it then allows you to submit a writing sample, and I think that was unintentional. So she was required to do that. So the upload to that was she did upload something, and it said, I couldn't figure out how to submit without uploading something to this. It wasn't an actual sample. Good catch.
Thoughts?
Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah, I wasn't quite sure what was going on there.
I just wanted to speak a little bit about August's work, because I'm sure it's hard having to do a self-interview and not be here to explain it, but her work is beautiful. I mean, it's way beyond what I was doing in high school with the just the emotional and the depth of that, the pieces. I think it really comes through. And the one that she talked about, was it a self-portrait? That one, I mean, I think it's absolutely stunning. And I'm hoping that she continues to pursue her art, because I think that she's able to get her points across in the depths and the emotions through her painting.
Thank you. Other thoughts?
I always look back at the rubric and thank you, Connie, for putting that together, and kind of helps us try to, because it's a difficult decision, right? And they're also qualified. I was looking through with Adriel, and perhaps other people more experienced in this would know, but I don't know if the lighting was 10 points. I don't know if the sound and everything was the highest quality. It was very good, and I was probably most impressed with meeting him tonight and speaking to him and understanding his passion, and that was probably the most impressive to me than the actual story. So whereas I look at Noah and look at the music then of the rubric, very impressive, of course, and Mario and the dance and all of that too. I think that the rubric, if I'm looking at the rubric, for me, that those are probably higher scores. So that's just my 2 cents.
It's really an interesting point, and it might be in our process that we think about using the rubric interview and throw that in at the end. Like we do the artist statement, we have a column for artist statement. It may help balance it a bit more to include how they did in the interview in the actual rubric. We're a little cart before the horse there on that one.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
And always, I think we need to keep improving our process. I had Noah and Mario at the top of my list on the rubric, just straight for their artwork, the quality of the work.
Can we all like say top 2 and then see how it goes from there?
Yeah.
So those were my top 2.
Noah and Mario. Connie?
Yes.
My top 2 are Noah and Adriel.
My top 2 are Noah and Mario.
Mine were Noah and Adriel.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Noah and Mario for my top 2.
Noah and the discussion point about the rubric is a very good one. I was very impressed by Adriel, but I think judging strictly on that piece of film, I can't in good faith put him above what our homie Mario was doing. So I think Noah and Mario are my guys.
Deb, did we get you? Yeah. Okay. Did you do a count?
I did do a count. So Noah was mentioned by all commissioners. So we have 6 who put Noah in the top 2, and Mario was in 4 of the top 2, and Adriel was in 2 of the top 2.
We have a runoff between those now? Or do you want to just go with what we've all said?
I would.
So we're entertaining a nomination from Commissioner Knutson.
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Emerson,
Yes, for Noah.
Commissioner Momsen,
Yes.
Commissioner Small,
Yes.
Commissioner Knudsen,
Yes.
Commissioner Van Wagner,
Yes.
and Chair Schleling.
Yes.
Thank you. The motion carries unanimously.
Thank you, commissioners. It was tough as usual. And if we had more money, it would just be pretty wonderful. It was a very good discussion. We have wisdom up here, which helps. Now I turn it over to the staff for 1.3, the
Just
election.
Before we move on, is like, are we gonna call? What's the, or it's like are we assuming they're watching?
That is a good question. We talked about this internally, but we did not talk about it as a commission. But last year was the only year I was present for it, and there was the commission called to let him know or let the winner know last year. We can certainly do that, or as we have done with things like Treasure Artist, we can have somebody on the commission call them directly after the meeting.
Commissioner choices, what would you like to do?
I think we should call them. It was exciting, I think.
It is exciting. Can we do that
Yes.
publicly?
I believe it needs to be publicly if we do it during the public meeting. So give me
Okay.
1 second to confirm the phone number just to make sure I have that right.
Okay. Stay tuned.
That was a request to be put on a future agenda, so I think there will be a more robust discussion. Certainly does not mean that you can't have discussion now, but I think that we will have a more formal process and can do a little bit of pre-work to make sure that that's a really fruitful discussion at a future date, if that's agreeable to the commissioners.
Thank you. We'll work on our questions and work on our rubrics and make sure that we maybe hear from our students about improvement of process too. We definitely want to favor the kids.
And I have the phone number. I'm going to hand it to you rather than saying it out loud in a public meeting. But if you would like to put them on speaker, you're certainly welcome to do so. I know in the past people have collected behind whoever decides to call to make the announcement. So I can give you, if you guys want a couple of minutes to talk that through, you're certainly welcome. But I'll pass this along to our chair, and then she can decide who is the lucky one who gets to make the phone call.
Thank you. I think considering we have a musician on our commission, it would be really pretty wonderful for him to speak to Noah if he's available, and give him the good news. Or I don't know, shall we leave a message? Leave a message for him if we get a voicemail.
If we have to leave a message, how detailed do we want to get?
I think just tell him he won.
Yeah, I can let him know that he was the award recipient, and that the city will be contacting him to make sure that he receives his award. And in addition, there is a recognition usually by city council. The commissioners are welcome to attend that. Just that acknowledge that there will be, he'll be requested to come and be recognized by city council and the commission.
Would it be possible to ask if he did a very brief performance for a city council?
I would absolutely include that in my ask when we have him for that. So it doesn't necessarily need to be on that phone call. That will be something that we will request of him. I know we would all love it.
And we're also inviting him to be part of the 4th of July parade as one of the honorees.
And yeah, I would just ask if it is a voicemail or something, let us know so that we can cheer in the background or something.
Yes, I'll be in contact to make sure that I physically give him the award. Yes, and we will coordinate to make sure that he receives the award, and then any of these other details which I've mentioned, we will certainly do all of the follow-up for that. So not required to be communicated all perfectly in this particular phone call, but we will definitely do our due diligence on that.
Okay. Great, let's see if we can
Okay,
get him.
Commissioner Van Wagner is now calling Noah.
Okay, Noah. Yeah. Yeah, well, I have an 847 area code, so it probably thinks it's spam.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system. 70750999235 is not available.
Oh, right. Oh, I got it. Hello, Noah. This is Scott Van Wagner calling from the Cultural Fine Arts Commission, and I've got good news for you. We've just finished our vote, and you have been selected as the award recipient. Congratulations. So we unanimously selected you, and the good news is that the city will be contacting you in the next couple of days to give you the actual check, which will be in the amount of $2,000. And then another key point is that you're going to be recognized at the next city council meeting, and you will be invited, if you're available, to attend that meeting, and perhaps you might even consider a small performance. Bring your instrument with you, and you can also participate in the July 4th parade as the recipient of this award. So you must be feel very proud, I would imagine, and we look forward to hearing back from you as soon as you get this message. You can call me on this number, and we'll talk about the details then. Okay. Ciao for now.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Okay.
Mike.
Right, welcome.
So, yes, Commissioner Emerson.
I would, how do we notify the artists that were not selected?
I've been in communication with them, obviously, to set up the interviews. I will be also reaching out to them just like I do anytime anybody enters any contest or application process for the city. So I will be notifying them of who is selected. Of course, encouraging them to listen to your deliberations, because I think it will be important for them to hear you. There were so many wonderful things said about all of their artwork, encouraging them certainly to pursue their art, and also this opportunity if their age allows them in future years, and hopefully even to fill our seat on the commission, which will be coming up, among some other things. So I'll be reaching out via email, and if I do not hear confirmation back, I'll also be making personal phone calls.
The students that submitted, gosh, I'm drawing a blank, drawings and such to let them know that we do have other opportunities, and perhaps the utility rep, they may be interested in something like that.
Read my mind. Thank you.
And also the subcommittee has been wanting to put up the visual art at least, and if not, photographs of all the people that applied would be really appreciated if they are interested in showing in the chamber. Moving on to 1.3, election of the vice chair for the Cultural and Fine Arts Commission.
Thank you, Chair Schlaling and Commissioners. The item before you is the election of your Vice Chair for the remainder of this calendar year. Just for anyone watching in the public or through the video, annually this commission conducts reorganization by selecting a chair and vice chair from among its members, and it serves for the year. On February 20th, at your regular meeting, you selected Steve Hagstrom as chair and Connie Schlaling as vice chair. Mr. Hagstrom moved out of city limits and therefore could not continue in that position. Then on April 16th, at your regular meeting, you elected Vice Chair Schlaling to then become chair. That leaves the vice chair position open, and that is what you'll be voting on this evening. The selection process proceeds as follows. I will turn it back over to Chair Schlaling to ask for any comments or questions of the commissioners, as well as take any public comment. Then we can turn it back over to staff to open the nomination period. Their nominations don't require any seconds. However, you're more than welcome to state your support for any nomination that is made. When there are no more nominations, staff will declare that the nomination period is closed. And then a roll call will be taken, beginning with the first nominee. If that nominee receives the majority vote, then they are declared the winner and no additional votes will be taken. With that, I will go ahead and turn it back over to Chair Schlaling.
Thank you. Public comment first, if there's any public comment, which there's no public here, so I guess not. Any commissioners have comments or questions?
Okay, so nomination period for vice chair is open.
Can commissioners self-nominate? I think we have a shy commission.
Has anybody put their name, like anybody expressed interest in such a thing? Like, or
I think Meredith might have.
Yeah, I nominate Meredith.
I would like to nominate Meredith.
Third.
All right, we're closing nomination. I will go ahead and do roll call. Commissioner Emerson.
Yes.
Commissioner Thompson.
Yes.
Commissioner Small.
Absolutely.
Commissioner Knudsen.
Yes.
Commissioner Van Wagner.
Yes.
Chair Schleling.
Yes.
Thank you. The motion carries unanimously.
Yay! We have a whole commission now. Okay, and I think with that, we can adjourn. Thank you.